I thought that was you.
Yeah, how are you?
Nice seeing you. Hey, you remember the time that we tipped you over with a bag of grain?
Yes, I do. We were coming home. We were coming home in a sleigh, and they were so drifting the road. My father went out through the woods, and the sleigh tipped over sideways. The one runner on one side went down in the snow and the other didn't. I fell out in the snow, a bag of grain after me.
The sleigh was right on top of us. We had to tip the sleigh off. See, the road was drifted.
I never forget that.
The road was drifted. And,
we had more snow than you do now.
I went ahead to try to slow down, and Melvin was going to lead the horse ahead, see? When he did, he went up on this drift like that and tipped the sleigh arrow and bottom side it. That's the one he
Yeah, but my father would lead the horse, you know, and somebody else would hang all the reins.
I was telling Kenny about coming home one time. I didn't go to school to come home. No horse run away. He hit his heel on the goddamn crossbar.
Look at those two trees, Ralph.
Yeah. I went in that corner. I told Kenny if the house hadn't been there, he'd still been going.
There's two trees there, but they're all hollow inside. Hey, Ralph, look at these, all these nice rock maples.
Yeah.
We're going to take a quick walk down to the Thompson.
I think there is. I think there is. At home, you go down there and eat another dinner. You have good appetite. I see some of the boys take after.
And split that tree, and it came down a root, and it plowed just like a plow had been across the road. It followed that root down under the road, and it went into a fence on the other side, and it followed the wire fence.
Oh. You want to start that story for me again?
Everybody's going for a walk, Melvin.
Oh, he's coming. Get a picture of him. Hey, you know what? Now, watch it. We don't have to pick you up.
Smile, you're on candid camera.
Rosemary, you ought to get us all together up front of the place there and take pictures all together, huh?
Okay.
You remember, Melvin, when we was going down the road here after a thunderstorm one day? There was a big hemlock down here and the lightning struck it. It split the tree and it came right down across the road and it plowed a furrow right about 2/3 way across the road. And it went from there onto a wire on the other side of the road and followed the wire and it split another tree on the fence.
Another one I got to ask Ralph if he remembers the time when he went out in the pasture after the cows and he had some gunpowder with him and he touched it off with a match.
I don't think he ever forgot it.
I don't think he did.
I never
and it
did.
burned his face.
You was there, wasn't you?
It singed his face and burned his eyebrows, and I guess he had glasses on. He come home and told his father he didn't want him to know what he did. He says, something come down out of the tree and it come right down my face and burned my face. But they found out, they went and looked and they found the match and they found it. Then he owned up what he did. I don't think he forgot that.
An old hound dog, and he had a fight with an old fox right down there, right in the middle of the road.
How
How are
big?
you going to show these at the
Chestnut trees. Well, the blight got them. We used to go up there with these little salt and sugar bags in the fall and pick up chestnuts.
Yeah, we put them in the oven and toast them and eat them. Oh, were they good?
All of a sudden, the blight threw them all.
Yeah.
Sometimes
See, I
just
felt bad. They were good eating.
2 or 3 of us little ones would go out after school, and then my mother'd give us a salt bag, each one of us, each bags like
Used
that.
to have little cloth salt bags. The bag came in salt. Salt came in plastic cloth bags. Yeah.
I remember we went. Was there some chestnut trees down below here and toward Grandpa's?
Well, there was some up the other way too,
Most
up
of them
above the house,
up
on the
through
other
there, I
side.
used to remember.
The day we went with Mother, down this way somewhere. I don't remember.
Yeah, I've been up the
Yeah.
other side of the house on the other side. It was on this side.
It was
Yeah.
Glenn and I, and even when we moved off the farm, this tree upside the road still had chestnuts on it. One side of it was still alive.
Yeah.
And when we were in the 8th grade in school, when Melvin was in the 8th grade, the big boys used to go up there and sit under the tree across from Calvin Fellows'.
Yeah.
And that was when he was in the 8th grade. They used to get chestnuts in there then.
Yeah.
That was the last live tree that I ever saw around.
A little corn house.
Okay,
out
go
on
ahead.
The corner back. Wallace used to come down there, and he used to smoke a pipe or something when he was a teenager. And he'd come down and go up in that corn house. He'd sit out there and smoke. I looked out the window and I'd see him. He didn't know I saw him, you know. I told him about it later, a long time ago after that. And he didn't. Of course, nobody else knew. He thought nobody knew he smoked.
About to the chestnuts. After school one night, we went out with Mother. Some of the little children with salt bags to collect chestnuts, and we got all the chestnut bags full. She got a bigger one. She had a bigger one, and she.
Gee,
got,
there must have been a lot of them.
Yeah, well, we couldn't. We was only.
Yeah, we
just
put them in
when-
the oven, just toast them
I
with
think
a
it was
shell
my
of butter,
first year
man,
of
they were good.
school,
Yeah.
and Glenn was. I don't think he was going to school then.
What year would
Yeah.
that have been? Do you know?
Right?
What
well, when he
year?
was in the 8th grade, so we have to figure that out. You
Uh,
said he was in the 8th grade about then?
Who? Melvin?
Melvin? Or was that
No,
before
at the
that?
time, Melvin. They went up by the schoolhouse. Melvin
Oh.
was in the 8th grade.
Oh.
Because I remember him and the other boys used to go up there, and we went up one day and we
Yeah.
was watching them. They were sitting up there smoking
No.
and eating chestnuts.
Yeah.
They broke the chestnut burrs all around there.
Well,
I don't
they,
know whether he ever knew we was down there or not. But I don't know whether Melvin was smoking or not.
No.
But the other boys were. There was
I bet Melvin knows if he was smoking.
Herbert Baird.
I don't remember
He
about
doesn't
that.
remember. So
I know.
what year were you in the 1st grade, Uncle Kenny?
Right?
What year were you in the 1st grade?
What year were
was
you
that?
born now? Figure
1913.
13.
Yeah.
So about
14, 15,
1919
16,
maybe?
6 years from that, we had to start
19,
when they were
19 or
6.
20, yeah.
Yeah,
About
1919
19
and
or 20,
1920.
yeah. I like to ride horses then. That's how Susan takes after me for
Did
horses.
you use a
I
saddle?
think I was,
Did you
I
have a
was
saddle?
15, I think. 15 or 16.
No, I think we just put a
I remember
blanket
you
on his
sticking
back.
them,
Yeah.
Could have been
You
16.
hadn't been at it long.
I think it was 1927 we moved out of Richmond up in Blue City, we called it. And
Ralph said,
moved down here.
I'd go out in the barn,
Up
I'd
here,
cut the
I
horse
think
and
you
talk
old
to it.
highway, one of
Then
the
I'd
field
run
there,
back
the
and
old
forth
boiler
into the
sat there in
belly.
the mud for 3
And
weeks.
if my mother ever knew I did that, she'd have a fit, you know. Horse might kick me, never did.
Yeah.
I used to
They got the boiler
pat
in
him
the
and get
driveway
him all
there.
quiet, and then I'd go
Sunk
back
him
and
all
forth.
over, and that's where it sat. Sat there for 3 weeks.
Up in the tree, you had to go to the
No, that was up to the white place, up the road.
Oh, yeah.
I went up the tree and I shit on his head.
we were picking grapes.
You picking grapes? I
We
went
was
up the tree.
picking grapes. And he says, I just found some nice grapes. It was a big dead apple tree, and it was hanging out like this, and the grapes came down. I was picking them, and he says, I gotta go. I said, okay, I'm going to keep eating grapes. Well, I didn't know. He went up the damn tree and climbed up on that limb. The grapes are so thick that I couldn't see him.
He probably thought it would stay on the limb, but it didn't went down through.
And the next thing I knew, floppity plop plop, and all over my face.
Boy, it's gonna look good on the film.
He took me over to the well over to the old house to wash me off. Remember the time the old man and the grandpa had a fight?
Yeah.
So we was mad at Grandpa too, so we came down, it was in the spring, serpent season, so we came down and pissed in his buckets down.
In his sat buckets? Oh my
I
word.
don't remember. I don't remember that. Somebody else must have done that.
Best batch you ever had, right?
You don't suppose he'd give us any to syrup, do you?
I went down with him. He went down to get it.
Well, there's another funny one that let's see, Ralph ought to tell. When it was awfully cold and Mr. Bennett used to drive us to school. He was Fay Whipple's grandfather,
Yeah,
and he lived up where in that yellow house up past Olson's there, that yellow house on the hill.
yeah.
And they used to drive us to school, and he'd have a blanket, and they'd put a soapstone in the oven, and let it get hot. Then they'd put it down the bottom, put the feet on in the buggy or in the sleigh, and have a blanket over their legs. Well, Fayette O'Bennett, we used to call him Santa Claus because he had a long beard way down here, you know. And so he had, they said Mr. Bennett in that history book. I wish they put his whole name in, Fayette O'Bennett. And so he let Ralph get down under the blanket to keep him warm. He was so cold one morning, he was small, you know, and let him get down under the blanket. So Ralph thought he'd be funny, play a trick on him. He unbuttoned his overshoes. They were the buckle all the way up, you know,
Yeah.
and he unbuckled them. So when he got out to walk, his overshoes was unbuckled. Ralph, he didn't say anything. He went along, went to school. But Mr. Bennett never asked Ralph to sit down under the blankets anymore, so I guess he knew what happened.
Yeah. He was cool.
Was Daniel Webster Thompson,
Mm-hmm.
and Grandma Thompson was Dora Lillian.
Okay, and those were your mother's parents?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, Ida was her name,
Yeah.
her mother, Ida May. Is that where the house was, right there where that opening is?
Yeah, just beyond it.
Well, we're going to walk down and see it. Are you coming back after me? So I'm going to walk over there.
Down here? I don't know if I want to drive.
Well, I'll walk back up here.
Oh.
I'll walk back up here.
There's nothing to see.
There isn't?
No, it's the cellar hole and
Oh.
some stuff.
Did you want to get it?
Oh,
Did you see all of them?
it's on lock.
No, it isn't.
It isn't? Okay, well, it's not.
Maybe you got it locked now.
No, I didn't move it.
Well, just shove that little thing where you have to.
Wow. Nothing, you just push this down?
No, press on that other thing where you have to slide it. It goes down through to a pond down there. And then it goes up a hill. And you go down through the woods. There's a road that went right down through. And it comes out down to Orange,
Uh-huh.
where our mail used to come. Where the,
And you had to walk down there to get your mail?
huh?
You
We
had
used to walk down there and get our mail.
Wow.
Yeah, there used to be our mail down there, foot of that hill, and we had to go down there and get it.
Yeah.
We had to walk about a mile down there to get our mail.
Mm.
There it is. And see, there two trees are still here. Look at them.
Yeah.
Better shape than the ones up there. Huh. Yeah, look at there's a big cellar hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way ours was, a big one for the house and a narrow one where the shed end was, you know?
Yeah.
Built out the same way.
Now this was your grandparents' house?
Huh?
This was your grandparents' house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where Grandpa Thompson, Daniel Webster Thompson, and Dora Lillian Thompson lived.
Maiden name?
Rawson.
Oh.
Ralph and his dog.
Took him around the line.
Yeah.
Ralph.
Paid me to do it.
Kenny was
He's hearing it.
He paid me for it.
It's all right. You start telling it. He'll come in,
And it seemed like
Uncle Kenny.
the beam was
You
flying.
start telling the story. He'll come and argue with you.
Well, I tell you, quite a goddamn jaunt.
Yeah, you won't tell it right, you know.
Especially
Yeah.
if you want to see the timber.
There's a jog, you know, up on the south end of that lot.
Yeah, I knew where it all was then. I probably have a hard job finding it today, but then I
Yes,
did.
you will, because I was up there to check the lines on that mine lot, and I had a hard time to find it.
Wow.
The wire fence is gone, and we had it painted, and the paint is gone, you can hardly find it.
She wants to hear your story about you and the dog that caught the skunk for you. You remember that?
Cut the skunk.
That rabbit dog you had.
Oh, that
Yeah.
rabbit dog?
Yeah.
There was an apple tree right over there. The wind blew over. Yeah. And in the night after we'd all gone to bed, the dog was found. And you got up, went out with your gun, went up and shot, came back, got Melvin and I out of bed to help you skin the skunk.
Jeez,
You,
that was a
you
dirty
skinned
man.
it, Melvin held one leg and I held the lantern. It was about midnight when we got that skunk skin that night. Then
Who ate it?
that was the same dog when Melvin and I was up there where I told you the story about we're picking grapes. Well, he got in the quills up there. He got quills so bad that we had to have him put out of the way.
Oh.
That ain't really the story.
Uh-oh.
You want to do something in your face and burnt you.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a big one. Hey, this is the best.
Okay.
This
You're
is not
on.
a lie.
You're on.
This is true.
This is the
Ralph
Ralph
Matthew,
show.
Ralph T. Matthew, Ralph Truthful.
Ralph T. Ralph Truthful. That's
The
great.
story's true because I was there.
Oh, we got two lions.
Let me start with this.
What's your middle initial?
The start of this story was
Roll them.
up to school. Don Belsky was bringing 12 gauge shotguns, dumping the powder on and touching it on. And go. Well, so I thought we'd take some down. We're going after cows. There was a big rock down there, ledge. Yeah.
Right,
So-
right in the road. The ledge
Yeah,
was.
so I dumped the goddamn stuff on it and I touched it off and the wind was blowing, it blew it in my face. It burnt the goddamn hydro off my face.
Burned his mustache.
My word.
So anyway, we went down further at the goddamn cow, but my face was terrible. When I come back, they didn't know what was the matter with me. I just something jumped out of the tree. And my father didn't know how to take that, I guess. So he went down in a fashion looking around and he found the shotgun shell down there and he found it. He knew he got burnt with powder himself once.
Ah,
You see why the guy jumped down the tree. You see his foot track right in the leg.
yeah.
Who was it went after the cows? Was you and I or Kenny and I went after the cows one rainy day way down the pasture and we never did find them?
Probably you and I, I imagine.
And
He can't even put a gun when you know.
we smoked cigars, smoked pipe and everything else, and I got sick in hell. Instead of coming home, we went over to Gramps and stayed in the house down there. I was sick in hell. I come home. So I smoked a couple of goddamn big long cigars. Never did get the cows.
Rosemary, I just
never
thought of the
forget-
burn where we
I
had a
never
cigar
Another
one day.
time about
Yeah.
When Uncle Arlington gets back, I'll
We
tell
were
him.
real sick, weren't we?
Yes.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
There was another time that
That
Dad
ain't a
and Mother
lie,
went
is it?
down and get the groceries.
Yeah.
I didn't, do you think I told a lie then?
Melvin here, he
No.
got the old man's corn cob
No
pipe out.
liars in my family.
Anybody's got it
Took
truthful
some
from little
canned
name.
tobacco. He took some tobacco
like
out
that.
and filled it
What
up.
does R
He was
stand
smoking
for?
it and
For
he gave me a
Roland.
few puffs.
Yeah.
And when they
Melvin
came
what?
home, we was both sick.
Ah.
In the back of the stove.
Yeah.
Melvin Roland.
What'd you
What
tell
does R
him?
stand for
What'd
his
you tell
cat?
him?
Gosh, we was real sick. I never smoked much after that. Once in a while I'd take a cigarette or something, but I never cared much for smoking.
You know what Grant
You
Thompson
must have
told me?
some fun stories.
The
You know
next
what my
morning, the
grandfather
old
told me?
man
I thought I
took
was
the
fat
tobacco
about
can
16
off the
years old.
shelf.
I
It
lit
was a
up
brand new
cigar.
can, never been
I
opened.
backed
Yeah.
it
Put
down
his
the
finger
road.
in it and the tobacco was
When I
all
smoked
loose.
a
He was
cigar,
all
he said
mad.
to me, he said, Ralph, he said,
And
you
he
know what
looked
they say
down
about a
and
man
he-
that smokes?
I was still sitting
said,
behind
"No."
the stove.
He said, the fire it went in, the fool
He
killed it.
laughed. He says, "Now I know what was
That
the matter
lowered
with
the
you
boom,
fellas
didn't it,
last night."
Ah, yeah.
Hey, you remember we all had scarlet fever?
Yeah, I
We
remember
all
that.
had scarlet fever. I
Who
was
gave it
13
to you?
years old.
Who brought it home to you?
You.
I don't know.
Ah.
I just started high school. You did?
Yes, I got it in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
I
You
never
got
forget.
some,
From the
you got
toilet
some
seat,
kind of
huh?
eczema down there, too. You got some kind of itch, some kind of eczema down there,
Uh-oh.
too. Remember that?
You got some kind of itch, huh?
Yeah.
Tell us
What was
about
that all
February.
about?
And we all had scarlet fever. First one, and the other one on all winter, you know.
I remember one time.
Couldn't go back to school till the spring.
No, I remember when
The
Yeah,
principal wrote
something.
me a letter. He said, you can come back to school. He said, no, this I'm not doing 1 year, I'm doing 2. So I
Remember
never
one
went
time
back.
used to-
Never went back, huh?
You know what we
Kitchen.
did then, Rosemary?
Wait a minute,
That
I'm
was the
getting
dumbest
Uncle
thing you ever
Melvin
did.
right now.
We didn't,
Whoops.
we didn't have no bus to come to the door pick us up.
Yeah.
We had to go down to Orange and stay all the week and board with somebody. I boarded
Oh.
with the Shores, and they had a daughter about my age.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to walk to school way up from North Main Street. I had to walk way down to high school down by the post office, down the outside
Wow.
of the post office.
I worked.
Every day we had to walk to
I
school.
worked for my boy.
And then
on the
Friday
farm.
we could come
I
home
was
for the
just looking
weekend.
to see if
Yeah.
that tree
So
was
we didn't
still
have no
there.
buses to take us to school then.
Great.
We had to board with somebody.
That's gone
Hey,
a long time ago.
You know,
Remember
did
the
you know
factory
Uncle,
used to be out
Uncle
there?
Raymond before he
You
died?
remember that pear tree never failed
Uncle
to bear every
Raymond.
year?
He
The
was
sink,
about
the sink green run out there. I think it fertilized it.
I
and they
think
kept the
I
water
do.
and it bear every year.
Hey Ralph, you remember when you were 16, you got your license to go hunt deer, and you caught a deer, and all those years your father had been hunting, he didn't get one?
Yeah. He come home and I had one there skinning it out.
Yeah, he got a deer.
Your first year?
First year you went out when you were 16,
Yeah.
you got a license, hunting license.
The further end, before he went through into the other room, there's a big cupboard went from the floor all the way up, and a lot of shelves in it. And the old man, my father, used to keep all of his gun equipment, shells, and tobacco, and everything else in there. He had a pipe in there, and he used to go after the cows. I used to take the pipe. I couldn't find any tobacco, so I'd roll up leaves and put in it.
Oh, I thought you used to do that.
I got the pipe plugged up, and I couldn't unplug it, and I put it back up there. And Dad went to smoke his pipe, he couldn't balance it there. Unplugged up.
You know what we used to smoke? We used to take punk wood, take a nail and push a hole through it and then light up the punk wood
Yeah.
and smoke it.
Another time, he was home sick. He laid up with rheumatism, couldn't get out of bed.
That's where I got it from. I got the arthritis from him.
You
Used to-
inherited it.
Used to have some vermilion, they used to call it red lead, to mark bees with. We were not hunting bees, wild bees, the
Yeah.
powder.
Yeah.
So I went got it out. I made myself all up like a clown. I went in the big bedroom. Look, Dad, see how I look. Boy, he came out of the bed, he got his razor strap, took me out of the kitchen.
That's he used to get a razor strap for his belt.
Raced me all the way through the goddamn kitchen. We had a door went out of the kitchen here. Went over here about 4 feet. There's another door come outdoors. I went through the door. He gave me a boot in the ass, the cuff side the head. I went out here, over here, and out that door. My feet never touched the ground.
You remember when somebody broke a window out in the hen house and nobody would tell who did it? He lined us all up and he was going to take his belt to every one of us
Yeah.
to see if we
Yeah,
tell.
you remember the time Grandma asked us to churn the butter?
Yeah.
And I was the one that was supposed to churn the butter, and I didn't just churn it when she told me to. So when he come home at night, she said, Edwin, she said, they didn't churn that butter when I told them to. He got his goddamn belt, and he put it on to me, and then on to Melvin, and on to Essa.
You all got it, huh?
We
Whoa.
all got it, because we wouldn't churn the butter when we churned it, but we didn't do it when she wanted it done.
Yeah. Stubborn Matthews.
Yeah.
We inherited some of
Back
that.
in them days, boy, you didn't argue over the razor strap talk.
No.
That tree over
Now
there,
money talk.
crooked maple,
He
is
gets
one
it
that
running, too.
Uncle Raymond used to get
Whether or not-
Glenn and I treed up in there with a slingshot and shoot green grapes at us half a day.
This one right here,
The one right
this
to the
small
left of
one,
the birch tree, right
Yeah.
over back. It's got a lot of crooked limbs on it.
that big one.
Apparently, it was crotchy at the bottom, and apparently the left side is split off from it.
Yeah.
Where was the sugar house?
He always had a slingshot. He'd come up every summer, and he'd spend a lot of the time shooting grapes at us kids. It'd hurt like the devil. We'd get up in the crotch, and he'd hit the limbs or the leaves or something.
You know, we had a sugar house over there.
That's another thing we used to
and
do.
had evaporator in it. And used to gather
Uncle Willard used to go
syrup
up here
on
and
barrels
boil
on
syrup for our
with the
father.
oxen.
And
And there used to be a lot of little chipmunks around the sugar house. And I thought they were so cute, I was going to pick one up. I picked one up, but boy, he grabbed my finger, and he would not let go, and oh, did it hurt. I never picked up another one.
that's
Bit
how we
by a
learned to
chipmunk.
smoke. And Uncle Willard was boiling sap. He used to
Uh-huh.
boil sap, and we kids used to go down there, and they had a kind of a hole cut out with the crack of the boards so we could see up the house. We used to go in there and smoke, and we'd watch out the cracks, see if the mother was coming. We used to go in
Hey,
there and
Ralph, you remember the time when you used to have to, well, I used to have to water the horse, but they wanted you to do
Yeah.
it too. You was trying to help. But, you know, you take the horse down, try to lead it down to the spring,
No, I wouldn't.
and the
I'd-
horse would lead you all over the
Sure,
field.
I'd let the horse lead
So
me.
I was younger than you was, but I'd take the horse and I'd lead the horse to the spring to drink, to the well. We'd
Yeah,
draw up the
I
water
could get,
with a pail up out of the well
Yeah.
for the horse to drink. And the horse would lead you all over the field. You couldn't lead the horse. He did not lead the horse.
I could take
the horse
care of
would go there, he'd follow the horse. He wouldn't.
I'd take care of the old cow though, but the old cow
Oh,
put
yeah.
you right back in the house.
Yeah. No, every time I had a red sweater on, that cow would chase me.
down the road, you get run over.
He was in Retta's class. He's Retta's age.
Well,
He
what's
was married to
what's his-
Mary Carey.
Oh.
Did we forget you, Uncle Glenn?
Did you forget to come?
I forgot.
Oh,
forgot.
it's your
And he forgot to go
responsibility.
get you. He
Tell
said
ya.
he was supposed to pick you up and he forgot to go get you.
When your son's girlfriend calls, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and wants him to come over, you gotta go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Especially when your son
You
is
know
a
what?
Matthews
You
boy.
walked all down to Grandpa Thompson's place down there,
Yeah.
and there's more space down there where their house was, and the big maple tree.
Yeah.
There are 2 trees left. Originally there was 3 trees there. I don't know, I guess my father probably cut the other one down, and there was a big log laying right here on the lawn. Kenny was on the log, and I was trying to get up, and every time I go to get up, he'd push me back down again. I said, you either let me up there or I'll chop your fingers off. And I had a hatchet in my hand, and I tried to get up again. He pushed me off. I went up with a hatchet like that and chopped one of his fingers half off.
That was my hatchet he had. That's what the fight
Yeah,
was.
his hatchet.
Where is? I go out from there every day and walk up the roadways and things like that.
Hey, that must be the crib you slept
Not in
in
the
when you was a
wintertime,
baby.
but in the summer.
For heaven's sake.
Ah!
Look
at
at that.
Crib. Ah! the
Do
side
you think
of a
that's
crib.
one of yours?
I have got a crib
That's
upstairs.
where Arlington used to, that's Arlington's crib. Sure, that's Arlington's crib.
Hey, you remember the
For
time, Ralph?
heaven's sake.
Well,
When-
I'll tell you one thing.
I got
That's
an-
Arlington's crib. He was pretty small when he was up here.
He was.
I was about 4 years old.
Weren't you born here, Arlington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the end
He
of
must have been the
house.
baby when we moved.
Sure,
Right?
we moved away in, 1924.
Yeah, because Donald was
I was
born
4
up.
years.
And you was born in 1918.
19.
We moved from here before that.
Wasn't Donald born up the other
Yeah,
place, or
1990.
was
They're
he
gonna
born
fight.
here? Donald?
Donald?
Donald.
Donald
Because
was,
he was only about a year and a half, and Aunt Sarah took him.
he was born here too.
We moved right out right after then.
He was a baby when we moved over
Yeah.
town.
He
Well,
was?
he was only a year and a
I
half.
thought I was pretty small.
And Aunt Sarah took him to bring him up.
My watchtop here somewhere.
Right there. Right there.
I can remember going to school from up here.
Yeah.
And we used to have to go in a horse and buggy in the spring, and in the wintertime you go in a sleigh, and the snowdrifts were so damn deep sometimes the sleigh would almost tip over. Going across the flats up here.
Yeah.
Rosemary.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the tree that Alan's in.
That's your old top?
Side of it.
We,
We jump up in one chair and get a bath, and the other kids would wait. When you get your bath, you jumped in the other chair and down on the floor.
Yeah.
I found a
That's
good
the way we
accident
every
cellar hole
Saturday
one day,
night.
you know. Yeah, I got it up the house.
My mother continued that tradition too.
I think it's down.
Somebody must have
you know,
somebody must have filled the old well in, you know.
you remember
probably.
Ralph when you and I was going to Dad out in the pasture, and he had an axe, and we wanted to carry it. You was carrying it, and I wanted to carry it, and you didn't want to give it to me. Dad said, "Give it to her, let her carry it away." And you didn't want to give it to me. You was mad. You threw it at me, and I've still got the scar on my arm where it cut my arm.
Oh,
And
wow.
we had to go back. Yeah.
You
I thought
We had to
did
go
that,
back to
Uncle
house
Ralph?
and wrap it out. It was bleeding terrible.
You did that to my mama?
Yeah, he tossed it at me, and I was mad. 'cause
I wouldn't do a thing like that. I didn't know that. Yeah, but look
But
at this
every
here.
time we get down
See
there,
this cut here?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
cut this out there, I think pretty off.
Kenny's got one too, I think.
Put a short
Yeah.
There's a scar from that hatchet he hit me with.
oh, yeah.
Let's see that. Let's zero in on
There
that.
it is, there, it's still there.
There's a white
Kids,
mark
boy,
there.
they're going to get their own way some way, huh? You really did it, huh?
I remember Melvin when Melvin and I and Kenya, I think we were walking down the road, and Grandpa Thompson, he always wore those boots that came up to here, you know.
Yeah.
And Melvin always,
like
every
cowboy
time
boots?
we met him on the road, Melvin always had some kind of a name for him. So this day we were walking down through there, and Melvin said, "Oh, big whiskers."
Because I had the red sweater on. I found something else shouldn't bother me.
Turn the
But
red
boy,
sweater.
I was
The
running
red
as fast
coat
as
you
I
had.
could.
A red coat.
What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
The red
you got a
sweater.
red
Spring.
long
Yeah.
coat.
Remember about this place was all the fruit trees.
There we go
Yeah.
again.
There's a lot
There
of
we go
over
again.
across the road here.
I wonder
Yeah.
what that one is.
Peaches and pears and plums.
I got sick on them damn plums.
Tell her about the time the Jersey cow knocked her down
Oh,
the
is
road.
that the one?
Even today, I won't eat a plum.
What's that all about?
I don't know what.
Do you remember?
About it. I don't She was eating grass there, and you ran up and was going to pat her. Oh, she hauled around and knocked her right down the road.
Do you remember that?
Plum
You
tree
don't
over there to
remember
the
it?
Ben's place. So I'd
Huh?
I remember sitting in an ant's
Used to be a
nest
nice
up,
plum tree
up
over
here
there.
and
I used to
picking
pick them
blueberries.
and make,
How'd you manage
plum
that?
gumbo. We put
I started
So,
howling
you know,
like
put
hell, but I
nuts
didn't
and
move. I just sit there.
spices in
And
it. And it really
Mother
made a
come
good
over and
spread
grabbed
for
me and
my
yanked me out of the ant's nest and brushed the ants off.
Huh.
Yeah,
Say
One
it,
of,
you know.
one of the kids over there,
Yeah.
yeah, your kids as
And
well,
you-
the grandchildren.
They wouldn't take you. You
When I
wanted to go, and they wouldn't take you, so you ran up the road after them. Right after they told
I
us to
called
watch
him here
it.
a couple of years
And,
ago about it.
We missed her, and Melvin and I went up the road, and he finally heard you crying. Mama, Mama. And you was over there, and there was a byway, and you was on there crying on the byway. We got back home.
Sounds to me, Uncle Ellington, like your big brothers protected you.
That was a big house.
I guess they did.
It was a big two-story house.
That true, Uncle Kenny? Sounds to me like his big brothers protected him.
They did.
Yeah.
It'd been nice if you had the camera here the day he fell in the swill pail.
We always looked after the little
We had to
ones.
feed
I
the
was
pigs
only
grain.
girl, and I was
Yeah.
next to the
And
oldest.
heat the water to boiling.
Yeah.
And he was just a little fella,
And
and Alvin set the pail down, and I was stirring it, and got it all stirred up, ready to go out. And for some reason, another one of the big guys came along, and they bumped into him, and he went back like this, and he was just high enough, so they caught him right here, and he sat right down in it. Boy,
Do you
well, they got his
remember
pants
that?
off pretty quick.
You don't remember
Hurt him
that?
some,
I
but
remember
not too
playing
bad.
in the Calvino pile down there off my knees.
She's getting a lot of things we used to do.
I know Massachusetts.
You don't remember falling in the swill
Look
bucket?
at that
No.
nice white birch tree in there.
Yeah.
Boy, look at that birch tree.
I think that one looks a
I
little
like those
healthier.
birch trees. There's two of them there.
Yeah.
Well, that
right
one
in
sure
the-
started
right up in the
growing
edge of the
after the
cellar
house
hole.
was over that one when we was here.
Yeah.
Mostly maple, but there's two birch trees over there. Hey, Melvin's got something about Ralph, he said.
What you got? What you got, Melvin?
No, Uncle Glenn. I
Got a
think.
telephone line
Uncle
running
Glenn.
through? Our dad, I guess, asked Ralph to do something, and he didn't do it, and he went off up in the woods up there on the hill. And
You got the house all
I guess he went up there to cut wood or
Yeah.
something.
Rosemary.
On
Yeah.
Ward Hill? Ward Hill.
Up there, yeah.
Yeah, Ward Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
I can remember because I was halfway up there, and he.
Well,
My father went up, you know how he used to take
okay,
a long
there's the
step, you
road.
know, when he
Yeah.
was going after somebody when he
This
got
is the
mad.
bridal seat here.
He went
That's
up
where,
there, and Ralph was up in the woods, and he grabbed a gray birch top, and he wheeled him all the way back to the house. I don't know what the hell it was all about.
Remember that? It was a hallway.
He
here.
did something.
I
Remember that?
I answered down many of them. I can't remember them all.
That's the only Alfred.
Every time he hit him, Ralph would jump.
I tell you
This
another,
was the
another
meat
pretty good story. I
Yeah,
don't know
he
if Ralph
said that.
remembers or not. He probably does. It
Had a
was
big
down,
table in
They
there.
had
and
a, they had a bed in this
Went
corner
down
of
that
the
road
house.
down there,
Bed?
down the
Yeah,
lower
I
end.
remember when
On
Donald
the
was
right-hand
on
side,
there.
there was a lot of
Dad and Mother
birches
used
in
to
there.
sleep in there.
Dad was down there
This is
cutting them for wood.
master bedroom.
And I
It
was
was
climbing the
sitting room,
trees,
but
climbing the
Mom,
bushes,
Dad used
swinging
it
them.
for their bedroom and
And
went
all
up
of a
Used
sudden,
to have
there was
a
one
stove
about
sitting right
big
here,
that
and
ash
Mom
there.
was-
I got up about
was
two-thirds way
got
up
up
the tree
against
and
it,
started
it was
bending
red hot,
over.
and she got a
My
dress
dad
on
reached
fire,
over,
and
he
she
had
come
one of these
running out the
double-fitted
door,
axes,
and-
a long handle, he reached over, he conked it
Grandpa
down
was
like
Mother's falling over. Catch her.
I can tell you
Right in
another
here
one.
was, we had a big wood
Rosemary.
box,
What?
and the kitchen stove was over
Melvin
here.
and
And
I-
this down here was where we all
We were playing
crawled
Indian
in when
one
we
time.
were
We were supposed to be down hole in the garden, the way down the further field.
Yeah. He
We
remembers
got taking a
that one.
hole in the garden, so we went up with swinging
We
great
did
birch
those
trees,
things
you
and
know.
found mine was
And
home.
Melvin was way up
Yeah.
in the
Like
tree,
one
swinging
day,
his tree down, you
Mom
know.
says, "Don't eat
And
too
pretty
many
quick I
of those
heard
bugs."
Esther holler,
So
dinner.
one day they went shopping.
There was a
And,
piece of wood there
I
just
went
between
down
it.
and we
And we was
killed
down
all
there,
them
not a
bugs
stitch
and
of
they
clothes
found
on. Playing Indian.
Playing Indian, huh?
Come back that way.
I said, you know, hurry up. I said, Esther's coming, get your clothes on. And then right down here, we was down there cutting wood, he and I. So what we do, we'd get up in the tree and see which way the tree leaned.
Hay,
Melvin
bean
get up
threshers.
this tree, this is his turn to be up the tree.
Old bean
So I
thresher in
spotted the
there.
tree and I
We
got it
used
cut
a few
down.
times, but it
And the
got-
goddamn tree rolled over and went right top of him and
Yeah.
hurt him.
What was you and Melvin playing
other
down here when the ball of fire
Chickens
jumped out at
and-
you?
They already heard that one.
Yeah, we
I never heard that. I never heard the complete story of that all. The only part, the only part,
We
He
got
jumped
that
out of the bushes.
that's right, a ball of fire jumped out of the bushes at Ralph.
Yeah.
He's out after the
He
cow.
doesn't know where it came from.
No,
And he doesn't know where it went.
No, the ball of fire jumped right out of the bushes.
He came down out
Now,
the
who was that?
Yes,
Ethel? She was
out of the bushes,
Who was that?
down from the
Ethel?
trees.
Why was she
But
there?
boy, they
Now,
went,
her
Dad
name
went
is
looking and
Skevington,
he
and I
found
think
the
she's
matches
still
on the
around
rock.
now.
Oh, he found the
Oh, yes, he
Yes,
found all the
shotgun
birds.
shell in the
Oh,
match.
they had the little gunpowder,
Oh,
huh?
yeah, he had some gunpowder in a match. When he
Yeah,
put the
but-
match to it, it flew up in his
It
pipe.
was. We were up there picking grape. Yeah. Right? Yeah.
Up
And
to
it was
the
on
next
that
place,
road
there
that
was a lot
went
of
to the
grape.
old white place.
Yeah.
And Melvin somehow had got separated from us, and I don't know how, but he hollered to us.
He was up in the
And
tree.
so we went running up the road to see where he was, and all of a sudden, flop, flop. He was up in a tree.
He says, I gotta
I don't know how
go.
he timed it right to get the both of us, but he did.
You got your boat. That's pretty good.
Don't get under the trees. Don't stand under a tree.
If he disappears, oh my God. If Uncle Melvin disappears, you guys watch out for your hats.
Hey, get a picture of that. Is that a gas tank?
What is that?
No, but
Oh,
he,
it's a
he
gas
was telling
tank?
me about it. But,
Huh?
It's a gas tank.
Gas tank?
I never talked about it
whole
much.
kind.
I didn't think it's a very nice story.
Right there.
this,
The kitchen went from here over.
They had around gas
this must be where, this is where Ethel and Alfred had their honeymoon.
Whoa, who are
Yeah.
they?
Well, Ethel is,
Upstairs.
What's this?
Upstairs.
Oh, I'm just drawing
Oh, we got kind of a rough sketch
This
of
is
the house
the
here,
house.
but
pictures of the house.
it
And,
ain't.
You
One
got a
day she
sketch
came
of the
out with her
cellar?
bulldog.
Yeah.
but, yeah,
Oh.
I just trying to
She
get...
had a little bulldog about that long, and
Yeah.
she came out with a leash on it and was carrying it one
oh,
day.
listen to this.
And our dog went after her.
This is
And they got in a fight. She tried to separate him. It bit through her arm here, and she had to go out to the doctor to get it.
over there.
Yeah, I think my father
And there's
did
a big
something to that
pantry in
dog.
the middle.
I remember him telling me. Oh no! How about is Aunt Ethel the one that used to go to the
Aunt Ethel,
outhouse?
she had a bulldog.
Who used to go out and get under the outhouse and
I
stick
remember
sticks up?
That wasn't me.
Who did that? About
I
that.
don't know.
I remember Aunt Ethel one day getting bit with a bulldog.
I went out and took a
And
look
they-
once,
Wow,
but that's all I
what
did.
if Aunt Ethel had the bulldog and she came visiting, she had that dog with her?
The dog
The
bit
dog
her.
we had got in a fight,
Yeah, and the
and
dog
somebody
bit
was
her.
trying to separate them. She tried to separate them because she didn't want her dog hurt.
That's right.
Her
She
dog,
got,
the dog bit
her
her.
own dog bit her, right? Yeah.
It was Uncle Ralph.
And they had to walk all the way to Orange to a doctor.
He didn't. You didn't do it, right? He looked. He
Yeah.
looked one time,
Uncle
but
Kenny
he didn't
looked.
do it.
Yeah.
But they left it all open. It was a free show.
I wouldn't do a thing like that. I wouldn't do a thing like that.
You're very lucky to have two such nice children as us, considering where we came from.
Yes.
Well, I gotta take her home. She's,
Yeah,
she's
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, she doesn't feel good. Wellington?
When we had scarlet fever, that's the stove we had to
That's a
keep
piece
warm
off
with.
the stove.
Heaven's
looks
That's a
like it.
door from it.
Yeah.
Door from that stove that was in the kitchen.
You all remember it?
I remember it.
I don't.
I slept side of it.
Uncle Allington, you don't remember any of this
Yeah, I
stuff.
wonder.
He was too little.
I can tell you, I remember one day I come in the house and I don't know if it was Melvin or Kenny or Melvin and Ralph, but my father had them both by one hand and he was giving them a licking with a razor strap.
Ha ha! You remember the stuff that happened to the other people, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
I kept my mouth shut.
Early,
Reverend
okay.
Anthony's son, that was.
What was that story, Uncle Melvin?
Another thing is a little brook used to run down through here out of the spring, and they had a little pond about 8 feet long, 4 feet wide, and about that deep. You just go down there and go swimming in it.
Where's the rest of the stove?
Raymond
I
used
just
to go
found
down
this
there
over
and
there.
throw the cats in, drown them.
Oh my
Then
word.
he'd take them out and pump the water on them.
Oh,
Like
no.
it.
Oh my
Who did
God.
that?
Raymond.
Raymond?
You think he'd
That was
We used to get the blame for it. He was-
grandfather's. That was my father's
youngest brother.
youngest. Yeah.
Ah,
Brother.
so who
Youngest brother.
tied the cattails together?
Raymond.
Raymond.
Raymond? He was
We
a
got the
rascal.
blame
over
for
the
it, but he-
clothesline.
Then threw him over the clothesline, let him fight.
He was a rascal, wasn't he?
I'll try that sometime.
Turpentine.
Trying the tails to get him through over the clothesline. Oh, what a mean trick that
There was a-
was for the poor
There was
kid.
a well out in that part of the house.
He
there,
was
off the
mean.
kitchen.
He was.
I thought he was
Yeah,
mean,
He's
but
the
he's
one
back
who was
kitchen.
playing tag.
mother
and
used to
I was
give us
running after him to catch him,
licking, you
and
know.
he dropped
Sometimes you'd
down
hold
quick,
your
and I
breath.
fell
And
over
I
and broke
remember
my two
one
front
time I held
teeth.
my breath. She took me out there and she pumped
I
the cold
remember
water
that,
on
too.
me, the damn
Yeah.
pump
He
right
would
on the back
always
of my
be
head.
doing mean things.
We'd be out here somewhere and
Oh,
next
yeah,
thing,
yeah, I
wham,
Then
with a
all
grape
I'm doing
in
is
his
run
hand.
in a hurry.
Turn around, he's ready to shoot again. So we'd run like the devil, go around and climb up that tree. That's the only place we could get away from him. Sometimes Glenn and I both, sometimes it's just me.
I came up here deer hunt one year.
Yeah.
There was quite a bit of snow on the ground.
I used to hunt up here.
I was around here for
I used to hunt up
I
here
don't know,
every
a couple
year after
hours,
come
I
out of
guess.
service.
And
Yeah.
I walked out the road
Down in there.
and I came back, and when I came back, that big tree right down there was a gun leaning against the tree.
Mm.
There was nobody around. And so I picked the gun up and brought it over, and my car was packed somewhere up in here. And I came up and I put it by my car, and I hung around for till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I hung around here for about 3 more hours. Nobody showed up. So I took the gun down to the Warwick store and advertised it and everything. Nobody ever showed up with a gun.
And the horse lived out and then came home and we walked home.
Ah. And how much snow was there? How much snow?
Well, it was pretty hard to tell. There was about 4 feet up there on the road then, and there were places that
Tell
it
you
was
how-
6
how-
and 7
how much
feet
snow
deep,
there was.
drifted when they were shoveling.
We shoveled snow for 3
They
weeks.
started
It would
shoveling
drift
right here.
terrible.
We shoveled snow for 3 weeks. We never got much farther, what you can see up the road up here.
Wow.
You shovel and get up the next day, be drifted in, shovel again, be drifted in again.
Mm.
3 weeks, we never even got out.
3 weeks.
Then came the 3 weeks of
That's when we
mud
used to
season.
get.
We had 3 weeks vacation in mud season. And we was out of school 6 weeks. Then some of the kids got here because I didn't get in only half my school.
You know, that's the days for winter. When you're ready for winter, we'd have a regular barrel, a regular sized barrel, a wooden barrel. That was full of flour. And then we'd have a sugar barrel, and we'd stock up on those things, you know, ahead. So
And a cracker barrel.
and a cracker
With a
barrel.
cracker, big crackers like that.
Yeah.
We had beef, 2 big
Flour
pigs
and
all
sugar.
hanging in the
Big-
back
big
row.
barrel full of flour.
We butchered 2
And
pigs
you know,
and a cow.
you put your hand, maybe the little mouse would make a hole in near the top so he could get in and get some flour. And my mother went to put her arm in to go get some flour, and a little mouse jumped right up her sleeve.
And
fell,
to
see,
that
he
last
had
house, and you go
about
through
a
the
dozen
road
kids
that
at
went
that time. You had a
We didn't
couple
get up
more
there
later.
at 10 o'clock. We
But,
left at 3 o'clock.
they didn't have, nobody had jobs. It was real bad. What they called the Great Depression, and there was the
Just run around and pick
stock
find
market
the
crash.
criminals. I didn't bother